What is up, folks? Justin Phillip here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Moza Mini S Essential Smartphone Gimbal. Right here, you'll see out of the box what you get. You get a nice little manual, you get some stickers for your Apple box, you get the actual gimbal itself, which has a really nice foldable design. You get this cool little foot. As you'll see here in the example, right out of the box, never even touched this thing before, and it took me less than 10 seconds to balance and calibrate my phone on the gimbal itself. As soon as you turn the Moza on, it just balances it perfectly. It did that with all three of the devices I tried on it. I used my iPhone 6s Plus, iPod Touch 6th generation, and my buddy's iPhone X. When I first took this out of the box and I was walking around the living room with it, I was like, oh yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I love the little foot here. You can just set it down. It rests anywhere. The best part about this is not anything to do with the gimbal at all. It is, in fact, the Moza Genie app. This thing is awesome, guys. It's basically an app they've made that is a gimbal app combined with Filmic Pro. You are able to hack into your phone or whatever device you're using and essentially turn it into a miniature video camera, exactly like Filmic Pro. Now, Filmic Pro costs $14.99. Moza Genie is completely free, so you might just want to check that out just for the app. You can do all kinds of different camera modes. They have time-lapse, advanced time-lapse, photo mode, obviously video mode, and within video mode you can do all the different frame rates that your particular device allows you to do, such as the iPhone X. We were able to shoot in 1080p at 120 frames per second, and even in overcrank, because there is on here within the app a slow motion mode, which means it's basically videoing it in real time, meaning you can play back on your device, playback slow-mo. Now, there is one little glitch with the iPhone X combined with the Moza Genie app. I wasn't in the slow-mo or overcrank mode. I was just in normal 120 frames 1080p setting. And as you'll see here in this example, the first 10 seconds and the last 10 seconds are in the normal 24p, and the entire rest middle portion of the clip is all overcrank.
Thing and try a flip trick and then glitch. Okay.
I think it is just a weird glitch with the way that the Moza Genie app is tapping into the iPhone X's camera settings. Either way, I thought it was pretty cool, and maybe there could be a way to go in there and debug it and figure it out to where we can actually apply that ourselves, because it didn't do it all the time. It was just on a couple clips. I just thought that was really interesting. But if you want it overcranked all the time for the entire clip, there is the slow-mo mode. I think that's really awesome, especially for extreme sports. Now, beyond getting different frame rates for your camera, there's also this anti-shake mode, like IBIS, internal image stabilization for your cell phone device. You can control your flash through here. Here's the best part, complete manual mode, which the Moza calls it the professional mode, right? Which makes sense, because now I can adjust my shutter speed, I can adjust my ISO, my exposure values, and my white balance, which is really great. You'll see in here we also have frames if you're into that, filters if you're into that. Here's something really awesome, zebras. Zebras are great for making sure you don't overexpose your image. That's nice. The reference line or the grid, which is great for proper framing and composition, which I love. This is nice. It also supplies what they call a gradienter, which is just a leveler. So that's a nice feature as well. You even have sound meters on here. here so you can check your audio levels. Also, I didn't mention this before, but the phone taps into the gimbal via Bluetooth. So that way you have complete control over, you can just hit this, you can tap here to record. Here's your zoom in and out. You can do a pretty decent Zolly effect, or what people like to call the vertigo effect, as you'll see here on this example with my cat Gracie. You can also live stream to YouTube or Facebook, which will take me to another point here pretty briefly, which is that this thing, I think, is primarily geared towards vloggers, right? That would make sense to me. Not exactly professional filmmakers, but yeah, I could totally see people vlogging on this. And the fact that they have that option to just live stream directly to Facebook or YouTube via the app makes it seem like, yeah, that makes more sense that this thing is actually made for vloggers. Because if you're just doing walking and talking with this, you're gonna be completely fine. You're gonna get great steady shots. As you can see here, when I was on wheels, I even got even better shots. One of the main problems I was having with it, when you do skateboarding, as you can see in these clips here, that I like to use what I call, or I learned from Tilta, the flashlight mode, which means you hold the gimbal like this and you gotta go low.
When I go like this to do flashlight mode, like what I'm used to with the Tilta G2X, it hits this motor right here.
However, it's just those low angle shots that, I mean, as you can see, it starts vibrating immediately as soon as I go like this. You just have to be constantly aware. And when you're doing extreme sports, I can't be watching to make sure my phone doesn't hit the motor. Because as you'll see, the phone is just, long, as most phones are. Now, this is just the iPhone 6s Plus, so you can imagine the problems we were having with the iPhone X. And there you'll see now, because of that, what I've been doing with it now, it's haywire. The best part about this gimbal is when it goes haywire on you, you just double click this trigger right here. You just double click that twice, and it goes right back to normal, perfectly centered and balanced. So that is a nice saving grace that no matter what, you can do that. Now, there is an option on here. You can double click twice here and go into what's called sports gear mode. But I don't understand what that is. It doesn't change anything what the gimbal is capable of doing. Now, you can do this, but I was already able to do this in the normal mode. See, we'll go back to recentering it, and I can still do this. It doesn't have to be in sports gear mode. So I'm not entirely sure what sports gear mode is. Sports gear mode wasn't helping me when I was doing sports. There's also this inception mode. You triple click here, 1, 2, 3. You'll see it there go. Oh, you can spin it around. I get it now. Oh, the Inception movie. However, didn't they go 360 with that thing? But beyond that, something else that helped when I was doing the skateboard shots was the framing. If you've ever had a Mavic Pro or messed around with a drone that has this option, you can just click and drag over your subject and then it'll stay locked onto the subject, which is great for following shots. It was great for doing the skateboard clips, or it even helped when doing that vertigo effect there. It's super easy with the little joystick to just control, all your tilt and pans. So that's nice, you could just set this up somewhere and have a cool little tripod action and just zoom around like this, pan around, tilt up and down, connect via Bluetooth, zoom in and out, and it's pretty good. One thing I will say that was interesting with my buddy's iPhone X, for whatever reason, the Bluetooth could not identify the Moza S. So when filming the skateboard stuff with his iPhone X, I was not able to use any of the hit stop and start record. I wasn't able to use the zoom or any of that because the iPhone X wasn't even recognizing whatever Bluetooth signal that the Moza Mini S Essential was sending out. Just find that interesting. However, with my 6s Plus and my iPod 6th generation, which was last year's model, those did fine, no problems at all. But again, like I said, with the iPhone X, there was that weird little thing with the overcrank issue too, so maybe there's just some weird bugs. Maybe there just needs to be some firmware updates with the Moza S Essential to get on board with the newest line of iPhones. Let's talk about some of the drawbacks. There is a micro USB port on the gimbal up under here, under the arm. They don't supply you with a charger, which is bummer because the app does consume a lot of battery life. You will have to figure out a battery solution or just go on Amazon, I guess, and buy an additional charger cord for whatever phone you need. I have lots of bricks, and that's what I did. I just bongo tied a brick to my handle down here and kept my phone on the charger that way. As you see in all these skateboard clips, that's how I was doing it. Now, the downside to that is that the brick is totally in your way of holding it like this, so I had to hold it higher, and that was some problems because I was constantly hitting this red button, which is the power button, but you have to hold it, press and hold it to make it turn off or on. But if you just click it once, as you'll see there, the gimbal goes to sleep. So that was happening a lot with me, so I had to click it again to wake it up right away.
Oh, shit. That's good. Look what happened anyways.
Because I was having to hold it higher to compensate for my brick being down here. So that is a little bit of a deal breaker for me that it doesn't supply a cable to charge the phone right out of the box. I just think that would be a nice option. However, guys, this gimbal is super affordable for what it is, so I'm sure it would be no problem to spring an extra 15 or 20 bucks for a little charging cable. The overall build quality, I'm not sure how long it would hold up because it is all plastic. How quick and easy it folds up. So it has these little locks here, and I can just flip this down, and there we go. It just folds up pretty nice and easily. This little foot comes off of here, and now here's your little gimbal, and you can just drop it into the satchel that it came with, and away you go. So that is pretty cool. It's nice, got good portability. I think this thing is made for vloggers and people that just literally have no other recording device other than their phone. So it's great for that. If you just want good walk and talk shots, get some interesting time-lapse stuff, turn your camera phone into like more of a professional video camera thanks to the Moza Genie app, then yeah, I think that's who this is made for. I do like the aspect of it having this little foot. I think that's cool. What's cool about this even more is you can unscrew this, and now I can use this with anything that takes a 1/4-20 thread. It's the little things that matter, right? So there you guys go, the Moza Mini S Essential Smartphone Gimbal. For all you vloggers out there, this is probably the thing to get. Take it or leave it, folks. As always, thank you for watching. Big shout out, and thank you to all of my loyal subscribers. If you guys are interested in this device, I'm gonna put an Amazon link down in the description below. As always, down there, you'll also see a direct link to my online virtual camera kit bag. That's where all my fun toys are that I use to make these videos and to shoot professionally in the real world here in Los Angeles. And for now, that's a wrap.